Kevin, it's been a bit of a tough evening at the office. 3-1 defeat by Kettering Town, who I think probably have, shown why they are where they are at the moment. But I think there's some sense of disappointment that amongst your own side that some errors in there and not the level of performance you needed.
No, as you say, congratulations to Kettering. You can see why they are where they are on top of the league, why they're having such a fantastic cup run. They're a decent side with good depth about them, good players, top to bottom. And yeah, look, we knew we were in for a tough game tonight. I thought we started up until we conceded the first goal. I think we're probably slightly the better side, which you would hope to be at home. But you can't go and gift moments like we did in for the first goal and keep thinking you're going to come from behind to get something out of the game. And we made life really hard for ourselves. I think then they grew in confidence off the back of the first goal, and we struggled to then get a foothold in the game. We're trying a little bit hard, and just that little bit of cohesion and togetherness that we'd shown for the opening, whatever it was, 15 minutes up until that point, deserted us. Player trying too hard and things not joining up, and frustration throughout, with it, from the dugout through the stands and what have you. Everybody gets frustrated, and we get a bit disjointed. And you ideally hope you get into half time at 1-0 where you can regroup and just reset. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. We conceded another, what we would look at and deem to be a soft goal. And then you have got a mountain to climb against a very good side. The third one, and you think it's going to be a real long evening. But credit to the boys and the people around, the guys behind the goal that have kept getting behind us and kept lifting us. And when we get the goal and sense that, there might be a little bit of an opening for us, the whole dynamic changes, doesn't it? And, again, serves to emphasise it's how important it is to take moments and chances when they come along. But equally, you can't allow teams as good as Kettering and in such a good place at the moment, easy moments and situations, and expect to come out with anything.
Yeah, I think I quite early on in the game, I thought to myself, I didn't see there being an awful lot of chances, and it might come down to who took theirs. And I think possibly, there were some, opportunities in that first half, but they seemed to be a little bit panicky, a little bit rushed, almost a sense of people know that it's a big game, and rather than just doing what comes naturally, they snatch at it.
Yeah, I think, we were kind of forcing the issues for the opening period, getting one or two half chance moments ourselves. One of those goes in. Again, the dynamic of the change, the mentality of players and supporters and everything changes and shifts. And unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. But it is my responsibility. I trust in the players when they go out there. Jimmy was fantastic for us Saturday, and at the heart of everything that we've done that was positive. Unfortunately, he's had a bit of a moment there tonight. He won't be happy with it, but we have to get over that and get on with it. I have to take the blame for it. It's my responsibility. I put the players out there, and I have to take the flak if people aren't happy with what they see. But like I say, even at 3-0, I'm pleased with the character that we show, and like I say, that the crowd behind the goal, getting behind us and keep lifting us and keep singing, and it makes a big difference to us. And we found a goal, which is nice. It would have been nice to have found another, and we had another near miss moment where that goes in. All of a sudden, you might sniff something out of not a lot. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. We have to take it on the chin, take our medicine, and make sure that we respond Thursday going into Saturday.
Sure. I suppose just thinking back to Saturday's game, Saturday's game, you were really, really happy with the performance and the levels, and felt everybody was, hitting the kind of levels that the team needs to be at. Now we know people are human beings, can't necessarily do that all of the time, but is there perhaps a difference maybe in the way they go about the game when they're away from home as well? That when you're away from home, you maybe are looking to keep it a bit tighter, whereas when you're at home, people maybe expect you to be a bit more expansive.
Yes, possibly, and rightly so. You should be at home, and we should make this a fortress, and we do want to dominate teams here without a doubt. We're not quite at that point yet, but I certainly think understanding, as you say, when you're away from home, being resilient as an 11, and there were periods when we understood that Saturday, and everybody's having a go and working hard together, and I'd say the distances between the units and the lines were good. We've made life difficult for Stanford, drag ourselves back into the game like we do, and continue to get better and better. And it's it's my responsibility to make sure players understand that, and you have to respect that Kettering, Stamford, all teams at whatever level that you play at will have periods in a game, whether that's a long period or a short period. But there's periods when you have to button down and be really hard to break down and beat, and don't concede within those moments. And we're not quite at that point at the moment. Like I say, there was nothing in the game up until the first goal, and it's a big error. It would have been nicer to get in at half time just at 1-0. The game's still on there and there's plenty still to believe in. But at 2-0 against a good side, you have got a mountain to climb. People keep going. We've had to make 1 or 2 changes for different reasons. But yeah, look, the character the boys have shown to keep going right the way to the end and try to salvage something out of the game was heartening. But we need to do better overall for 90 minutes against good sides like Kettering.
The league isn't won in November. It isn't lost in November. They are still 27 games ahead. So as much of a dent as it is this evening, it's not terminal. But obviously then the next challenge is an FA Trophy tie on Saturday away to a Hadley side who I think are top of their division and going well, so they'll be confident. That won't be the easiest of tasks.
Far from easy. They're not in this round of the competition for no reason. Like you say, top of their league, and they have that fantastic ingredient we all search for called momentum. Player in the side that's scoring lots of goals and a real threat. So yeah, away from home it's going to be really tough. We know they're going to be, like I say, a difficult side to overcome. Obviously, we are a little bit stretched with injuries and players cup tied, but that's where we find ourselves. Hopefully, the players that we have got are able to, take their moment and opportunity within the team, and we can come through it. We have to take a medicine tonight and learn from that, and wish Kettering well, and make sure that we're focused on what we're all about, and trying to, like I say, get back to winning ways Saturday. If we can fight and scrap and battle and take moments and situations better than we have done, we'll give ourselves a chance. And I think the lads are still having a go right the way to the very end, and haven't given up the fight, which is important to us. And sometimes you do come up against a side that's better than you, and that's what we strive to be. And I'm always striving to be the best side that we possibly can. And clearly there's a bit of work to do yet.
I suppose just in terms of injuries, Thursday you'll find out a little bit more. Players will be assessed. People will inevitably ask, and they always seem to ask, is anybody due through the door at all?
Yeah, we'd like to get somebody in before Saturday. Obviously, with 2 cup tied, there's 2 injuries there that won't be available for us Saturday, I would say, at this stage. So yeah, that, it does leave us a little bit depleted. I think 4 out of the 17 that we have not being available is a tough situation in which to find yourself. But look, we've been in that situation earlier in the season and managed to get through it. And if we have to scrap and battle to get through it, that's what we'll do. Yes, I would like to bring in some fresh blood, but it's not the easiest at this stage. There's a lot of players that we'd like to bring in already cup tied. So yeah, we'll sit down and see what we can bring in, and hopefully bolster the ranks between now and Saturday.
Sure, and I gather that's just mainly a case of you want the recruits to be somebody that will improve the side. It isn't a resource issue. It isn't that necessarily the money isn't there to do it, but they've got to be the right player.
Well, as best you can find, and like I say, it's difficult taking players that are proven at the level, and sometimes it might be that we have to go into the loan market and bring a loan in or 2. So yeah, if we have to do that, that might have to be the case. As I say, lots of players at this stage and this round of the competition are already cup tied, and it's obviously difficult to get them in anyway. But if they're cup tied, it doesn't really improve Saturday's position.
Kevin, we appreciate your time as always. Thanks.
Thank you.